Good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? As Denver said, my name is Ciara Cooney and I'm a Senior Inclusion Consultant at Inclusion Solutions. Not very good at this mic stuff. Thank you, Kirsty. So before I start, as an organisation, we wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the local Whadjuk people. We wish to acknowledge and respect their continuing culture, and we pay tribute to their elders past and present. So a bit about Inclusion Solutions. We're a non-for-profit organisation, and we're really excited to be here today on our third and last forum of the year, and it's wonderful to see such a great turnout. Our organisation, we have 4 full-time staff, 3 casual and a number of volunteers. I just met one for the first time today, so thank you, Harry. So nice to meet him. What we do, we work alongside, does that sound okay? I don't want to be ringing in my ears the whole time. I think so. Oh. Thank you. So a bit about Inclusion Solutions. We're a non-for-profit organisation. We have a small team. We're based in Osborne Park, and we use an asset-based community development approach. So we work with the assets within community. We work with what's already existing. We don't do any work for community, but we like to work with community. At this point this year, we've worked with 40 different local governments, 40 state sporting associations, 520 clubs, groups and businesses, helping them to be more inclusive and more welcoming of the entire community. So our mission is social inclusion. We don't want people just to be able to share a space. We want people to be able to occupy a valued role. We want people to be able to be welcomed and truly their identity to be, sorry. I'll get it right by the end of this, I promise. So we want to ensure that all people have the opportunity to be truly included in our community in a meaningful and valued way. So I'm going to show you a quick video and then we'll have a chat after.
It's easy to put people in boxes. There's us, and there's them. The high earners, and those just getting by. Those we trust, and those we try to avoid. There's the new Danes, and those who've always been here. The people from the countryside, and those who've never seen a cow. The religious, and the self-confident. There are those we share something with, and those we don't share anything with.
Velkommen. Jeg kommer til at stille jer nogle spørgsmål i dag. Nogle af dem kan godt være lidt personlige, men jeg håber, I vil svare ærligt på dem. Hvem herinde i rummet var klassens klovn? Hvem er bonusforældre?
And then suddenly, there's us. We who believe in life after death. We who've seen UFOs. And all of us who love to dance. We who've been bullied. And we who've bullied others. And then there's us, the lucky ones who've had sex this past week. We who are broken-hearted. We who are madly in love. We who feel lonely. We who are bisexual, and we who acknowledge the courage of others. We who have found the meaning of life, and we who have saved lives. And then there's all of us who just love Denmark. So maybe there's more that brings us together than we think. TV2 Denmark, all that we share.
Pretty powerful video. So more than half of Australians have experienced or are experiencing loneliness. That's around 1.25 million Western Australians. We live in a society that puts us in boxes. Sexual identity, gender, cultural background, religion, and the list goes on and on and on. And we could probably talk tonight about how many boxes we could put ourselves in. We're not here to do that. The United Kingdom now have a Minister for Loneliness. This is a real issue that needs to be addressed. And today, I'm so thrilled to see so many people here in this room that we can share our experiences and talk about what our similarities are and how we, as community members, empowered community members, can make positive change in our lives, in our communities, be it our street, be it our workplace, be it our local sports club. It doesn't matter. When I saw this video, it really made me think about the similarities of the people within this group and the power of what a community can look like when we celebrate one another and our own individuality. So, as our name is Inclusion Solutions, I thought I was going to harp on about inclusion for a bit and give you some frameworks that we utilise when we work with communities and we work with clubs and groups. So let's start with what isn't inclusion. So what's exclusion? So no opportunity to have a sense of belonging. You might notice my funny accent. I hail from Ireland, but recently became an Australian citizen, which I'm very happy about. When I first came here 7 years ago, I wanted to get involved in a local sports club. I picked the phone up because I didn't have the confidence to go into a club on the night and just ask, could I join? I was told on the phone that they didn't accept foreigners. I wasn't welcome. No opportunity for me to belong. This happens every day in our global community. We are people in the room that can make positive change and enable people to have a sense of belonging. So let's move to the next slide. We have segregation. And I've put two circles here just to give you an idea of two groups working in isolation. So a cohort of people participating in a community because of their similarities. That might be the colour of their skin, their religion, their gender, their sex. So to give you an example, I decided I would use Curves Gym. Has anyone heard of Curves Gym? It's a female-only gym. There's absolute benefit and merit to participation, absolutely. So a group of women can participate, attend a gym, physical well-being, mental well-being. They can connect with a group of women, but they can't connect with a group of people that are not women. So we're here to talk about inclusion today, and I thought I'd go through a couple of steps. Integration is the next step, and we'll hear later on about a great group that has a wonderful integrated program from Mr. Rob Gearson. So it's a pathway model for people to be able to join a wider community. So to give an example of a club or group, they'd wear the same uniforms, train on the same nights, attend the same social functions. They are a part of the club. They connect over their similarities, but it's all to do with their skills and their abilities. So it's equal. And then we have inclusion, so the circle where everyone is included. Inclusion means all, but it's people who share that similar interest, not because of who they are, but because they share a similar interest. That's really it. They connect on what they enjoy together. So I had an example of integration for Dramability. There is a group in Armadale, and they give opportunities for people who want to improve their drama skills before they join a theatre group or before they may perform on stage. So it's an opportunity for them to build their skills up. So within the City of Armadale, there's a group called Dramability, which is really great. And then we have inclusion. So I thought we have the wonderful Northern City here tonight, Abdul, Yaya and Dinny. So we'll hear a lot about them and how they created an inclusive club within the Mirrabooka region. So I'm not going to take any of your limelight, gentlemen. I'll let you talk about that. But I thought we're here today to talk about inclusion, and we see a lot of inclusive programs in communities. And I want you, and I encourage you, when you're in the community, to think, is that inclusion or is that participation? And what does that look like? And really question it for yourself, in your workplace, on your street, in your sports clubs. So I have a pyramid up here, and we have physical access on the bottom. In the middle, functional opportunity, so the opportunity to actually participate in a recreation, in a job, in a community, and then social inclusion. So that's what we focus on as an organisation. This is where people's lives can positively be impacted and positively changed, when they have a sense of belonging, when they can occupy a valued role in their community and be seen and accepted as in their individuality. So I have a picture here of the city of Bayswater. And there was a gentleman called John O'Brien, and he was an advocate for people living with disability, and he wrote hundreds of reports and articles around how to include people. But this really can just be used for our community. And the first step to inclusion is sharing an ordinary place. So I want you to think about a place in the community that you may go to, congregate, attend. Can you share that ordinary place? Can you physically get into the building? But then also think, when you get into that building or the recreation centre or your workplace, are you welcomed by a smile on your face? Is someone there willing to help you? So sharing of the ordinary place is the first step to inclusion. Here we have the City of Bayswater, and they have an event on every year called the Have a Go Day. And the Have a Go Day is the city work alongside community members, and they themselves work together to organise an event called Have a Go Day, where over 40 different clubs and groups come together at the Rise and showcase what's available in the community. They chose the Rise because not only is it an accessible event, people like it, it's the centre of the community. It's where people feel comfortable. So thinking about in our communities where we share those spaces. Then we have choice and control. So this is a picture of the Beaufort Rotary Club, which we're very lucky to have here today. So Beaufort Rotary Club, we have to make choices in our life all the time. Big decisions, small decisions, they may seem insignificant, but these decisions really frame us for who we are, and having the opportunity to make a choice and have the control in our own life. This is what Beaufort Rotary Club do. All members in that club came together to decide what their strategic vision would be. They work together, and their goal is what the members want. They don't want to be a club that just the committee decide. Everyone's choice, everyone's thoughts are valued. So they really think about what the community want and what the members want. So choice and control, really important. Contributing. So this is the next step. We have United in Diversity here, and they're from the Southeast Corridor. United in Diversity, they contribute their time at an aged care facility. Not only do they cook in the aged care facility, but they teach the people in that facility how to cook their local cuisine. They share a meal with them. It's so much more than just sharing that ordinary place. They contribute their time and their skills, and people have the opportunity, however, what way they would like to contribute in that club and group. They think about the skill sets and the gifts that people have. Here we have Queen's Rock Junior Cricket Club. Being someone is the next dimension. So this cricket club want everyone to be treated as an individual. what can that club give? But also, what can the members give back to the club? So those gifts are really appreciated, and people, it's a two-way system. It's not, I go to cricket and I leave cricket. It's what can you give to the club? And what can the club give to the person? And that's that two-way. That's when people really have that sense of belonging, feeling valued, occupying the valued role. That's when people feel included. That's the power of inclusion. And that's how people's lives can be positively impacted. So last, belonging. We have a young gentleman here called Saeed. And Saeed came over to Western Australia when he was 14 as an unaccompanied minor from Afghanistan. Saeed is part of Balcatta Cricket Club. This is his second family. His family are in Afghanistan. He doesn't just play cricket. The club is his family. He belongs there. He recently moved to Melbourne, and at the grand final, he flew back to Perth to support the club because that's his family. The club just isn't a vehicle of sport and recreation where he can share that space and participate. It's so much more. So to understand these dimensions, I thought I would share a bit about myself, and then we have an activity. So I share an ordinary place at the Tom Bateman Reserve at the city of Gosnells at a football club. Every Sunday you'll find me down there, usually from 8 to 5, and excited to get down, but once 5 o'clock comes, I'm ready to go home. But that's the space I share, and it's accessible. The building is accessible. It's anyone can come down. So choice and control. Yes, I am given choice and control. I'm a part of the committee. So at the start of every year, at our AGM, we sit down and we decide a time when committee is going to meet. The time we're going to meet, the day we're going to meet, the place we're going to meet. Will that ensure that everyone will be able to attend? So every member has choice and control as to what they are going to volunteer and contribute. So, which leads me on to contribute. I contribute as an event coordinator, a grant writer, and you might find me behind the bar in the kitchen or on the line. It really depends. I'm an active community member down there, and I would be lost without that football club. They give me so much more than I could ever give them. They give me a sense of belonging and a sense of individuality. So I asked myself this question: how does your community identify you as an individual? This is an interesting one because I had a chat with Christy, my colleague, and I said, well, the barman knows at half time of the men's final, I always like a pint bottle of Magners. So that's my half time. The man knows what I like to drink, and I have one drink, and that's my evening. They also know, as an individual, I'm willing to be Lions person. I'm willing to write grants. I'm willing to contribute my time, and I feel truly valued when I'm in that community. My life would look very different if I didn't have that sense of belonging in that club. So I feel really valued. I think I touched that one. But I invite you now to turn to the person next to you or behind you, perhaps someone that you haven't spoken to, and go through this list of questions. Each person has a minute each, and then we'll come back to centre. So if you can just share with the person next to you where you share an ordinary place in your community, and the rest of the questions. Feeling? Yeah? Yeah. First trimester. Yeah.
Finding squatting down is much harder this time than it was last time.
So the purpose of that activity is really for everyone to think about how we share ordinary spaces, how we feel included, and how active we are in our community. So seeing as it is Social Inclusion Week, I thought it would be the perfect time to give you a call to action. So what can you do during Social Inclusion Week to positively impact your community? And again, that could be on your neighbourhood street, your workplace, your sports club, wherever that may be. So the theme, as Denver said, was connect, collaborate and celebrate. So I encourage you, the people that you spoke to tell them at the end what you would like to do. Send them an email tomorrow morning on what you're going to do. And before Christmas, tell them what you have done. So I'm not going to wish anyone a Merry Christmas. I'll say Happy New Year. So I'm going to leave it on that note, and we're going to listen to some wonderful speakers tonight. But think about how you as community members can positively impact your community. So please don't forget to swap emails, and at the end network with one another and hold each other accountable, because we can do a lot of positive change in this room this year. Thank you.